Talofa, the floor is... you're wet. Take two. The PAC, this out. POD.
Let's go global after this. Name drops him, right?
All the time, I just hope for the weekend.
Sometimes it's like, hey, Laurent.
Talofa, the floor is lava. E vaiaso ole ngangana Samoa. And good after morning, ladies and Tonys. Welcome to the PAC Podcast, powered by the Big Athletic Club. If this is your first time joining us, we are a touring rugby club and reformed meme media platform for the players. We're simply here to make rugby great again, one meme at a time. My name is Sione, and joining me is the guy who's known around Coogee as Randwick's asshole. Please welcome the biggest hole, Dave Avea.
Is this the bit where I go, alupese?
Thank you. We're back. It's been probably a month, maybe a little bit longer, maybe.
Good riddance.
What have we been up to? I'll let you know after this show rundown. On today's show, we've got our thank you Tonys, Scrams. We have also a special guest to close out the show. He's not here yet. That's why we got a vacant seat here next to Dave. We have the one and only former NRL player and currently over in Japan playing rugby union. We have Curtis Rona.
He'll be good.
But before we get to Curtis, before he arrives, we're going to go through our normal pod stuff. Thank you, Tonys and Scrams. But before we get to that, what have you been up to, Dave?
Jesus Christ, I've been up to a lot.
Yep.
I turned 30 since last time I was on the pod.
Welcome to the 30.
I can either say I've turned 30 or I'm 28 plus 2 COVID years.
Yeah, I'll still tell people I'm 29, so...
So I turned 30 since last time I was on the pod. Work's been very busy. I'm doing a lot of thankless jobs for PAC behind the scenes, hitting a lot of dead rucks.
Yep.
What else?
Get into that later.
Yeah. What else have I been up to? Managed to play 80 minutes of rugby, 4 nights in a row.
What grade are you in now?
Two's great.
He's getting there. He's almost at 3 o'clock.
Some of those. What else has happened? Been to a few weddings, few bucks.
Yep.
I've had a few good mates have their bucks, have their wedding, so there's a lot of love.
Yeah.
What else is there? I've got a Europe trip coming up, another wedding.
Okay, nice.
I've been busy, but I've been behaving.
Nice. Busy. Freeney's not here just because he's on daddy's duties. He's got the weekend off. So I'll finally be seeing Freeney this weekend. So we have something to talk about next week on the pod as we go into, for the loyal little PAC podcast listeners, if you remember Toby from our OG pods, it's his engagement party this weekend. So
congratulations.
We're going to go full send. I'll take a day off from the bottle shop and we're gonna have a good time.
Well, it'll be the first time you've seen Freeney out for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I met Toby was when I said Joel was the mute button of the podcast.
Yeah, and you stole his role.
Yeah. Anyway.
And since you've been muted, so welcome back. It's good to have you back, mate. I've been I've been busy editing our documentary. If you haven't already gone and seen it, go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's about our PAC Barbars program, our rebrand. So go check it out. Last episode is coming out soon. It's longer of the 3 episodes. So, big things coming. Also, I'm off to Amsterdam and Ho Chi Minh in a few weeks, next month.
Big things coming.
Yeah, going back to the motherland in Amsterdam and going to check out where, find a place to live because I'm going to be moving back to Asia later in the years and rugby heads. So you would notice Ironside and myself have removed our rugby wrap from this podcast and moved it into our show early in the week. So go check that out, Rugby Heads. If you're a rugby head and you're a nerd, we'll be doing all the rugby chat on there. And also we're looking for a kit partner. The boys in the office, in our Scrams office, is looking for a kit partner because I'm moving our K-Money. It's still in startup phase, and it's after the Hong Kong. We know it's still in the startup phase. Still got a bit to work on. So we're looking for a legend kit partner. So
legend by mean obviously if they're
Nike, Adidas, Asics, one of those top ones.
Because all our listeners understand what we mean by legend.
Legend, yeah. So for the new guys,
for the sponsors, obviously it'll be their first time.
Yeah.
So we're after an actual legitimate clothing brand that's going to partner with us to support our PAC Pathways rugby program. That'll be playing kit, on and off the field touring kit. So if anyone's listening out there, whether you're a up and coming sporting clothing brand or you're well established, look, we're open to any collab and sponsorship opportunities. So back to you, Tony, with your legend.
All right, let's get into our thank you, Tony. What are you thankful for this recently, Dave?
Recently, I'm thankful for making it to 30.
Yeah.
What's that?
Thank you, God.
Thank you, Jesus. No, thank you to I can thank myself. Thank a lot of people around me, a lot of friends, people I've met along the way, supported me throughout the journey. And 30. That's almost half my life here, adult life. I lived in Sydney.
Yeah, congratulated. Thank you as well. Thank you for coming on the pod. It's good for when you get in there and explain it a little bit better, like you just previously did. The last segment. So it's good to have someone illiterate. So thank you, Tony.
You're most welcome anytime.
Yeah, and also big things coming in our merch department. I'd like to thank everyone that's spent their good hard-earned money on our merch the last 6 months, because we just got audited, and I'll let you know in the scrams how it's been going. Big things coming. We've been working on it along with our kit partner, like I mentioned before. But let's get into our scrams off the back of this. Thanking everyone for spending their hard-earned money. My scrams is we just got audited by our the office, the suits here at the Pig Athletic Club. Knuckles, he's the only one in the office, and he audited our merch department. The discount codes that everyone's been using that we say at the start of each pod. And thank you guys. We've saved you guys a total of around $1,500.
$1,500, jeez.
Yeah, so thank you guys. So thank you, and you better thank us, because we saved you guys that much money. It's been hard times in the economies.
Yeah.
And but how much have we made through all those sales? The scrams is we've made a whopping $120. That definitely doesn't keep the lights on here. No. So we've had to dip into some monies from elsewhere, bars or our media department.
Bit of oxygen.
There is no discount code for this episode, so just go support us. But we're going to get some more merch. That's what everyone's asking for. More merch. It's coming.
Yeah.
And big things coming.
No. We'll definitely. There's plenty more. There's exciting things to come with the merch. There's more options, more colours, more designs to come through, and some more categories. Yeah. So stay tuned. We've got some stuff working in the kitchen, and hopefully we can afford those discounts to give away. So thank us. And it's a great partnership. Keep the lights on. They're barely on at the moment. So.
And on this positive vibe that we've been sharing along. Like if you're at home and there's someone around that you haven't thanked in a while. Hey, go tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, I just want to thank you for being around. Yeah. Thank you for, doing the dishes, making me a sandwich. So just thank anyone close to you at the moment. Our guest is about to arrive, so...
Not yet. I've got my scrams. I finally thought of one. On the weekend, obviously, you saw, and you keep giving it to me, you're trying to make this Jeffrey... house bitch nickname just stick, that I went to one of my good mates' wedding on the weekend.
I actually call it house slave, but
okay, house slave.
Pretty derogatory to the
derogatory term to use. Yes, you can't be using that. Anyways, wedding was out in Weewar, which was a 6-hour drive from Sydney. Managed to break the record. I did it in 4.5 there and back. But at the wedding was really nice. Did the reception, did the ceremony, and we're lining up to go into the reception bit. Obviously in Weewar, no one's ever seen this shade of brown. So lovely older lady came up and said, I know one word in Maori. I'm standing there going, okay, this will be good. Whānau.
Welcome. You are now part of our whānau.
And I'm standing there going...
Whānau.
I'm standing there going, fuck, do I run with this? And say, oh, yes, it does. Or do I just embarrass the fuck out of her? So I say, thank you very much. We are now equal. We both know one word in Maori. It's whānau. I'm Tongan, not Maori. But don't be embarrassed. This lady literally was about to dig herself a hole in the ground there, right then. So she got, so that was my scrams for the weekend. I almost played scrams Maori, but I politely corrected.
Bless her heart.
Bless her.
Yeah.
She meant well.
Yeah, I used to think that there was when people used to do that, I was like, "Fucking racist," but they got good intentions. They think
they've got great intentions.
They think they're connecting with the Wahanaus. But yeah, I get it all the time. I still get it.
What do they think you are?
People they say Kia ora. I get a mixture of things. Sometimes I get Spanish and Portuguese and stuff. Like, fuck, that's pretty weird. Like, yeah, I was like, bro.
Now that is Scrams 101. No one thinks you're Portuguese.
Or what about when what do you reckon?
You're just making sounds now.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we'll be back with our special guest. Just going to unlock the green room to let him in. So, thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Over and out.
All right. Everyone can hear each other?
Roger. Yep. Tony.
I'm here.
All right, let's see how my Tadeo goes, mate.
Probably better than mine.
Yeah, the first part, I don't know if it goes with the rest of it.
All right, go on. Have a shot.
I'm trying to remember. Kia ora tātou, tēnā koutou katoa. Please welcome former NRL and Wallaby star, currently playing for Mitsubishi Dynaboars. He hails from Te Atiawa. Please welcome Curtis Rona.
How'd you go?
Here we go.
No question, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys, on short notice.
No.
It's good to be involved in the podcast today.
No, thanks for coming. Just for all the listeners, Curtis has actually travelled from the Gold Coast on short notice. We're recording in Brisbane. He's travelled all the way from Gold Coast and Gold Coast traffic to get here. So thank you for making time. We really appreciate it.
Before we get started, I just met Curtis today, and Dave messaged me. He's like, "Oh, I got Curtis locked in." I'm like, "Oh." Just please explain, how do you know each other? If you know each other, or is Dave just doing a chainsaw in your DMs?
No. We, me and Davey go way back. So we played Sydney Race together.
Sydney Race, Jesus Christ!
Back when they had what was that comp called? NRC.
Yeah.
He's acting humble, like he never talks about it.
He was our star player. I think he was our marquee player.
God. Here we go.
We clicked from then, and
I know, and we've stayed friends since.
I don't know how, but we have.
But it's almost like a long distance relationship online, because Curtis and I just send stupid messages to each other every now and then, and there's just stupid inside jokes. But I think where we really clicked was where was it? Ballarat. Jeez, we went to play a game in Ballarat for Sydney Rays. Do you remember that? We flew into Melbourne, bus ride out to Ballarat, which is probably like a 2-hour bus ride. Yeah. And then Curtis, I think we were forced to sit next to each other.
Yeah, and then we started talking. And, and then we got 50 put on us too, I think. Good times. It's been a bit of a journey, when was that?
2016?
17?
I can't remember.
2017. So I don't know how he's still playing footy now. I don't know how.
You've gone on to illustrious pro career. Dave's struggling to make it back to first grade. So
third grade.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with third grade, mate.
We just celebrated his return to second grade.
Off the bench too.
Started 2 weeks in a row.
Just had to wear 16 because the jersey's bigger. Well, that's all good. That's all good.
There you go. Yeah.
But let's get into Curtis's story. Take us back when you were little kids. Where did you grow up? And yeah.
Where it began, born in New Zealand, moved over to Perth on the west coast, and my whole family moved over there just for a good opportunity, to better ourselves. And
quite young. How old were you?
Yeah. So about 5-6 years old, we moved over, took the opportunity that Australia has, of milk and honey, like the rest of us. And we've adopted our life here, and we haven't looked back. I had my children here, met my wife here, and Australia's been really good to me. And I've played rugby league and union
in Perth.
Yeah, I did. I played both. Yeah. So back then they had like the Western Reds. WA Reds.
Yeah,
so
that's
I know. Geez.
Did you ever play AFL as well?
Not really. Just because like coming from like a rugby background with your family, like we didn't really. We're not interested in AFL at all.
Because obviously WA is pretty big over there, but you found some sort of rugby.
Yeah, which is pretty much, coming from like Māori family and that, everyone just rugby hearty, so we just, I just really didn't really get into any other sports, but, touch and rugby league and rugby union. And, what usually happens is on a Saturday you play, you play league or rugby, and then
Sunday you play the other one.
Yeah, you play the other one. So that was the case for me. And then when you get to a certain age, you got to choose which one you want to go for. And I played rugby. I went to Aramore Catholic College, graduated there in 2009. So
Jesus Christ!
I know,
mate. That's after me. So they're playing.
Tony, come on now. So graduated in 2009. Was in the Western Force Academy, coming through the ranks. Had a lot of star players that you look up to. like old school guys like Scott Staniforth and
Scotty Staniforth.
OG, that's OG.
OGs. You know what I mean?
Scott Favour was probably
Favour. He had the big, the chops,
straps.
Yeah, just the straps. Yeah. So when they were training there, we would go down and watch them. Obviously. With the academy, you'd see them in and out of the gym, and you see Pocock in there, just an absolute beast. You know what I mean?
Who would be some of the guys you were in academy with? That's
Ollie Hoskins, actually.
Yeah. One Wallaby Cup.
You guys played together?
Yeah, we played together in London.
Yeah, one Wallaby Cup.
It was pretty much what was it, Australian? Yeah. One Wallaby Cup, and that story is an unbelievable one.
Yeah.
So you probably know about it.
Yeah.
So basically, everyone depleted props.
Yeah.
Is that
do you remember
his
that?
brother Tobias? Is it?
Yeah, Tobias. Yeah. So
he says he's the better one. Just unfortunate road. Took the wrong turn.
He did. No, but he just honestly, we were at training one day, and obviously they ran out of props.
Yeah.
And everyone was out, and they couldn't get anybody over in time for the game, the England match in Twickenham, in front of 80,000 people, like dream come true.
Yeah, I remember when the Wallabies shared the video of him getting named and started tearing. I'm like, oh shit, I'm tear up here, looking around.
Who's cutting onions?
Because for him, he probably would have had no aspirations.
He would have given up as soon as he
played for the Wallabies.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think he would have been about 28, 29, and you're back in your career. You're on the other side of the world.
Yeah,
they really pick players overseas, and with maybe the new law coming in, I don't know, they might change it with the new coach. But it was like 1,000,000 to 1. If you're a betting man, it was no chance.
Exactly.
But he got on. He actually played really well when he came on, and he held his own. Fair play to him. Now he's in one of the best teams in Europe. He's at Saracens, so he's landed on his feet there after what happened with London Irish, and it's a good story for him, and something that he cherishes as well. And I think he's got a podcast as well. So if you want to link up with him,
we've got to do it.
Little duets there,
Might have to do a 3 a.m. wake up call to cross over for the time.
Yeah, we're just trying to work out. How are we going to call into people trying to work out?
Well, I know what you're doing at 3 a.m. So doing a bad things over here. Doing a bad things.
Why's the microwave on?
What's that noise?
Yeah.
Turn that music down, please.
Turn the music down.
Just banging on the door.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to your league day. So you obviously went from high school into, I think you went to under 20s program. Did you?
You went to Force Academy before going to
league?
So
basically I played schoolboys as well. We went we actually played in where did we play? Melbourne.
Wait, you went from school in Perth into Aussie schoolboys?
No, I didn't play Aussie schoolboys.
Okay.
I missed out, and that was my moment where I was like, you know what? If I'm not going to get picked, I'm going to go to league.
Yeah.
And then that was not many people know this. I was playing for WA, and we were playing in Geelong. We had NT. They had Lloyd McDermott. Is that Lloyd?
Lloyd. The Lloydie team still on.
Yeah, Lloydie team going. They had South Australian, Northern Territory, Melbourne team, obviously.
Yeah.
But that was back in 2009, and I went over there, played, and we had like a good team. We lost in the final to Melbourne.
Yeah.
We played.
No.
Yeah, so
Didn't get picked that year, did you?
didn't get picked that year, and spit
I'm throwing chat like
Yeah.
I got picked. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So basically, like I went through the academies and 15s, 16s, and then 17s, and how it works. They've changed it now, but schoolboys in Perth, you graduated at 17, so you weren't graduating at 18 on the East Coast. So that was the big difference, and the level of rugby there wasn't as high.
Yeah.
So you had guys like repeat because they wanted to make Australian schoolboys. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you're more than
because you're going to get picked because you're
more than
more
likely
experienced.
Yeah, you're more likely to not get picked your first year. Well, when you're meant to finish, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you're less of a chance of making schoolboys if you go to school in Perth, basically.
Basically at the time, but they've obviously changed the curriculum in Perth, and now it's 18.
Yeah.
But so that was a bit of a back foot going into it, and then I played pretty well, pretty solid, and there was about must have been like 11 or 12 Western Australian WA boys got picked, and I missed out, and I was probably like one of the better players in that tournament.
Yeah.
And the coach was just like, "Oh, I just don't like your attitude, mate." So he was just like, pretty much like, just
Okay, here's a question for who got picked in front of you.
Oh, so we had like we had this guy who's like Hedemeier. He was this absolute freak. Like,
okay.
he was 1 year older than me, but he had like the athletic ability. Like, he had like the biggest arms as a 16, 17-year-old, and like he was shredded up. And here's me, this big broomstick of a, you know what I mean? So he was like, and he was in like the program as well coming through. But it was a tough period for me, like making that.
Working out what to do next.
Working out what to do next, because I was like, okay, like I was pretty like adamant that I was good enough to make that squad to play combines. Yeah. So they played like New South Wales,
that's right.
Reds, ACT, and that's the one that you want to play in. You know, the best guys, and just when it happened, I just went, okay, flew back on the plane, and I was like, I'm just going to give up on rugby, and then Wanneroo Rugby, which is in WA, they were like, just come down because we want you to play first grade. And I was like, okay, sweet.
16, 18.
I was 16 years old, and he was like, just come play. And I played one trial game with him, and then after that, like I was still training and trying to, figure out my next steps. And then the WA Reds, like inaugural year of SG Ball, so that was like SG Ball in Sydney. In New South Wales, and we would play like, I don't know, like Wests, like Bankstown, Balmain, like you name it, Illawarra. So they came in that year, and I was like, well, fucking, I'll just go play a bit of rugby league. What more do I have to lose?
Were you playing league club?
No, I was playing rugby from like.
Oh, okay, so not.
No, I didn't even play
league. Wow. So you must have been basically a professional SG Ball, because you would have had to travel to Sydney to play.
Did you find it hard having not played league in your juniors? Because I grew up playing league club, then I never played. I played soccer at school because we didn't have rugby. But I found it hard, like going to union, like all the rules. But did you find it hard going to league? I know it's easier, it's concept, but did you find? Obviously you didn't, because you got picked up.
Well, that's a good question, Because like. Everyone has that debate about, can rugby players go to league, can league go to rugby? And like, honestly, like when you come through and you're still young and raw, you're learning the game anyway in rugby union. So like, it's pretty easy if you do like 6 months in league to be like, okay, and get better and better. Yeah. So I was still like 17, 18. I was 60, so after I finished that, the next year they brought in the league team, and they were like, okay, come down and have a trial. So like, I was like, oh yeah, sweet, went down there, had a trial, like played decent, and like I knew the league's not big in WA. So everyone was rubbish. So I was so I look like this bloody Israel Folau, looking prodigy, but I was far from that. But they were just like, oh mate, like play well, like we'll select you in the squad. And then at the time I still didn't know what I was doing, so I wasn't taking things serious. And then like I was going to training, wasn't going to training, and then the coach goes, oh mate, like if you want to take it serious, then I'll pick you in the team. or in the squad, and then I was like, okay, I better, like, because we do a pre-season block and then they cut people, so it's like 40 down to like 30.
Then, keep cutting until the final one.
Yeah, until the final one. And then, like, anyway, we're sitting down, we have this like group meeting, and like naming everybody out, and like I was still pretty unsure what I was doing, so I was like slacking a little bit on the commitment side of things. And then like the last month I just like put my head down, and because the coach pretty much gave me an ultimatum. He goes, mate, if you're gonna take it serious, you know, you have to show me that.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, okay, yep, sweet. Still quite young and, you know, but naive, and you know. And then I got my name was called out last in the squad, you know. And then it was a crazy feeling. You know?
So, had nothing to do with your surname being in alphabetical order.
all that.
He's going C should be C.
Yeah, so I got named last obviously, and then we played some tough teams. We played like Parramatta, and like, I mean, these teams are legit. Like they put 70 points on us, and we barely could score a point in our first year. But we had a NRL trial game. They had like St. George versus, must have been like St. George and maybe Canberra or something. They come over for like a pre-season warm-up game.
Game in WA.
Yeah, in WA. Yeah. And we played like the curtain raiser today. Yeah. And we won. We beat Illawarra, and that was like, we thought we won the grand final. You know what I mean? Like this Perth team that everyone's written off, and that. And then we still come last that year.
one win's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. So we were just like, it was just an opportunity there. I just played week in, week out, and they were pretty happy, like the scouts, and they just like, after that first game, I had a couple offers from Bulldogs and Roosters in Canberra, and then those offers stayed on board, because what happens is you play SG ball, and if you're good enough, you go into under 20s, and you play like Toyota Cup,
Toyota Cup, that's
and it's a good system in terms of like, okay, you play
nice progression there.
It is a nice progression, and I think that's what rugby is missing. You know what I mean? Having that progression into the top grade.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 20s is gone now because of, you know, obvious
costs
reasons.
And whatnot.
Obviously, you know, flying in and out is pretty costly. But I obviously threw in rugby, and then I went to league, and then, like you said,
cracking time.
Had a hell of a time, you know. Too much fun there. But,
learned the ropes in rugby league. Nothing better.
So you went into Roosters. You chose the Roosters 20s.
Yeah. I played 20s there so I literally, after my season finished with
the
WA Reds 18s, I got a contract, and like within a month I was in Sydney. I was living in the Big Smoke, Bondi Junction, and you know what I mean?
That was topo.
Yeah, it was hell of a time there, and I enjoyed it.
So did your 20s for the Roosters?
Yeah, I did 3 years.
3 years
at the
18,
Roosters.
19,
did your family come over, like your parents and stuff, come over from WA?
Nah, they actually were like, you haven't met it yet. You know what I mean? So they were like, oh, well, we still can't come over yet until you get that first grade contract. And I was like, okay, sweet. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big ask to do that, and fair play to the parents that do that.
Yeah.
You know. So basically, like, I played one game in that year with the Roosters, and then the next year I had like Jason Taylor, which is he's a good coach. Yeah. He took us on board for Jason Taylor played for North Sydney Bears and stuff like that. He took on us as a coach, and then he was like, he's like, oh mate, I'll give you opportunity if you want, and I was like, yeah, took it, and then played like 22 games, and then the next game like 23 or 24. So I played quite.
So who was in that group?
Oh mate, we had like Dylan Napa, Kane Evans, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. We had Daniel Tupou. Pretty handy, bro. We had a few guys that are in the UK now. Like Jacob Miller. We had another guy like Cy O'Sullivan. He used to play back in the day. He played rugby union. Who else?
But in
Boyd Cordner, he played as well.
Yeah. So, but in the 3 years you were there, by the end of your 3 years playing 20s, you would have played rucked up a couple of games because of when there's an 18-year-old stayed there for 3 years in Sydney.
Yeah.
And then what? first NRL? Did you go straight into NRL from 20s?
So, so basically, I got an NRL contract, and that's when my family did move over.
Oh, okay.
And I went up to Townsville.
The Cowboys.
2 years. Yeah, the Cowboys, and just like kind of just the first year, it's all about biding your time. As a young bloke, my advice would be like, just, I know you want it now, but like, it will come in all like good timing. You know what I mean? Like, it all happened for a reason.
Yeah.
So the first year I didn't play a game, and I was pretty cut about that because I was playing really well for the
cup team.
Yeah, I was playing really well and had good stats and everything else to progress in the first grade. But we had like good outside backs at the time. We had like Brent Tate, Tatey, you know what I mean?
With the neck pad.
He's on the neck brace and all, and he's like running around, you know what I mean? Like, he's a bit of a beast, mate. He's
I want to take you back to Sydney.
Yeah.
You just turned 18.
Yeah.
How did you not lose your head? I know a lot of the boys that went down. True. I know a lot of boys, leagueies that I grew up with, went down to Sydney, lost their head, all the talent in the world, lost their head, and didn't end up making grade. How did you not lose your head when
18-year-old under 20s contract?
Well, I kind of did lose my head a little bit. I can't lie to you.
We just don't know because there's no Instagram back then.
I think it was Bebo back then.
Jesus.
No, I think. Well, what happened was I had my girlfriend move over, and she kind of helped me as well.
Yeah.
And who's my wife now? So she moved over eventually on the second year and the third year, but the first year was probably the bad things, you know what I mean? Like
so
going out.
She's the reason why you didn't lose your head. So.
Yeah, pretty much, and even till this day, she's pretty much keep me intact and staying on the straight and narrow, you know. But I think, definitely the first year, I was like, I think I was going out like every night out. I'm not even lying.
But the thing about that is because you got no one at home.
Yeah, well, I was living with living with these 70-year-old people. Like they kind of
bill it like bill it like
bill it like I was like boarding with this like old. So they put you like in a homestead or something.
Yeah.
So I was these 70-year-olds, and like
they would have been just old Roosters supporters that were like,
they were like,
want to help.
They just they did Harold Matts and SG Board, like they helped out,
volunteered.
You volunteered.
It's like the boosters over in America.
Yeah, the
sponsors.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what kind of the first year was a bit rogue. The second year was good, like having a partner there, and I didn't have much family in it, and mate, I did see a lot of boys lose their head. I had some good times too, but it's very easy for some of those boys to just go off the rails and stuff like that. So,
because talking to a few of my mates, they should have been NRL players. But they put it down. They look back now. They're like you said, they wanted it straight away. They got in and they thought they were more talented than the old guys in the system. Yeah, and then they thought they made it already. Like the under 20s, they're still training with the top squad, but they lost their head because they just thought they had it, and they got this money that coming in, and they just
Talking about the money, like I'm telling you, as an 18-year-old, I worked. I worked part-time, and that was the good thing about under 20s is that they made you either study or work part-time. So basically I was like working different hours, like shifts. Like,
where were you working?
I was working like DHL and unloading like packages and containers and that, and I was just like shoveling away boxes and would just.
So it's either that or study.
And I'm not as brainy as you, obviously, mate. But with the glasses on and all.
Just put these in, you're 10 times smarter, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I can't even write my name. But that was a lot of boys they got a little bit of money as well. So that was like, okay, guys get like 15 to 20 grand back then. Like, that's a lot of money. Right? That's like, okay, well, what am I going to do with it?
Especially when most of us come from nothing. Like you come from nothing and you get
genuine.
Genuine.
So you get this like salary and you think like you won it. You've won it big time. You hit the jackpot. And probably like that was the thing is like I wasn't the best. Like I don't think I was the best player in the squad by any means. But like just trying to be consistent and like try to, not want it too much. Like
have a good balance.
Have a good balance.
Of you want it.
Of course,
but
you want
you're patient enough.
But you're patient enough to wait for it. Like what you're saying is like the guys are like, no, I want it now, and they're probably like best at like everything but like just because you're like the best at everything doesn't mean it's just going to be handed to you.
Yeah.
And you at that age, you don't see like all the little things. Like the coach is probably looking at all your stuff off the ball, where you're just thinking about all the big runs you make.
Oh yeah, 100%. You're thinking about the highlight reels. You know what I mean? But then like
coach is looking at you, just walk in.
But your up downs, your up downs are like the worst. Like you make a tackle and then you just like get up and walk and you're not even looking.
That's my game. I was watching my replays from last week. I was like, how long is it going to take me to get off the ground after that scrum?
Trying to find your lungs.
Exactly.
The league path was obviously the easier one for me.
It just sounds like it's the only opportunity that you had available to you.
It was. I think as well with the, like I'm not going to put a stigma on it, but like I didn't go to a private school as well in Western Australia, so that kind of did dampen my chances as well. You know,
was it public school, but it was a union.
It was a Catholic school.
Okay.
So you have like combined Catholic schools and like rugby league and like private schools as well.
Oh yeah.
It's all separated as well.
CAS, the combined Catholic schools.
Yeah.
They have like different comps in it running, and like in WA we didn't play against like certain teams that were like, oh, we're better than you, and we're like, well, come play us, and then
no,
we don't want to play. We're not the same comp.
True.
Yeah, it was weird back then. I don't know how it is now. Like I haven't spoken to anybody who said like, oh, if they got like a scratch match to get together.
But do they have a GPS comp over in Perth?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
But that's what he's saying. Their school doesn't play in it.
Oh, so it would have been like me. I went to private school, but it was a Christian school.
Yeah.
But we didn't play in the GPS comp. That's why I had to play soccer.
Yeah.
You look like a goalkeeper too. To be honest.
I was actually centre back.
Centre back. Come on, what's that movie called? So
you flicked that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're the goalie. Niki Salapu from Samoa. So Cowboys 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. Like first
year. Did you get a first grade cap there?
Yeah, I played. I think I played 7 games.
7 games.
Yeah, 7 games. Yeah.
Is that where you got your debut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I ended up getting my debut. So,
which was your first NRL contract?
Yeah, it was my first NRL contract, and like at that time, like I was still thinking, oh, when is it going to happen? Yeah. And like I was like turning 20. Yeah, I was 21. Yeah, when you least expect it, I was like 20. I was 21. Yeah, I was 21, turning like 22 soonish, and I was like, come on, man, like I'm getting old, but
old at 20.
Yeah. But at 22, your thoughts and league, and you know what I mean. Like
because you missed that boat. You're seeing these other 18-year-old wingers and outside backs.
Who was in the? Was Willie Toops at the Cowboys there?
Oh, Willie
Toops.
Will
Toops. No,
Willie Tonga.
Good.
Oh, and Tupa from.
Oh, yes.
He plays in Japan.
No, he left. He might have left like 2 years before that.
Oh, okay.
I know. Yeah, I know Will Toops really well. We caught up a few times in Japan since like we're over there, and he's obviously with the most budget with Toyota there. So
I've seen him playing in the forwards now. I'm like, oh, okay, he's just prolonging. He's making it work.
He's smart enough harder, you know?
Yeah,
but
saving his hamstrings.
He doesn't have to hit a 9 point. You know what I mean? But so I think he's coming back here in June or July. So he'll be good to come back, like come on and talk about his Japanese. And he's from Brizzy. You know, he's a Brizzy boy. So he would tell you like obviously his journey. He's got a pretty cool journey himself. But anyway, so
Did move to the Dogs after your 2 years?
Yeah, so I played the 2 years, moved to the Dogs. Des gave me a call and like I was like, he's like, mate, is this good? And I was like, oh yeah, mate, what's going on? He goes, oh, Desi, how's it, mate? How's it going? And I was like, oh yeah, all good. He's like, yeah, mate. We want you to come down here, mate. We see the potential in you, and you look like a good rooster, mate, to come down here. And I was like, well, I can't say no. It's Desi Hasler. Bulldogs have been in 2012 grand final, 2014 grand final. So I was like, well, this is an opportunity, to take. And
what year was that you came when?
2015, the next year after they made the GF, so they made the GF, and then
14. Yeah,
I went 2015, 16, and then 17 Force, and then Waratahs for 2 years, 18, 19, and then London for 3.5.
That's 10. What is that? 12? No, 12 years in professional rugby.
Oh, well, if you count under 20s, but
mate,
it's a long time.
It doesn't count.
But Talk to us, Japan, which is where you're at the moment.
Yeah.
You've been there for 2 years?
Yeah, two seasons. Yep.
Tell us about Japan. You love it. Seems like you do.
Yeah, mate. I love Japan. It's a cool
what you
place.
expected of Japan, or did you go there with no expectations whatsoever?
No, I knew it was going to be a fresh start. I knew it was going to be a different journey to what I've been on.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously playing NRL, Super Rugby, English Premiership, and then going to the top league. You know, I knew it was going to be a different challenge.
Yeah.
And as I got there, it was exactly how I expected, on and off the field.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, the people are lovely, man. They're just, like, beautiful people, like, respectful. They've got morals, and they're just really good to be around, you know? They just, you don't ever have any bad energy from them, or you don't have any, you know, like, hate or anything like that, like, hard being around. Yeah.
Hard to be negative around.
Oh, mate, if you go there for a week, it will, like, change your life. Like, you just come back a different person.
It's therapy.
You start balancing everybody and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty
And the family
cool.
kids enjoy Japan?
Yeah, the 3 kids are at Japanese school.
International or learning Japanese?
No. They're in the sink or swim over here, brother.
That's so good.
That's sick, though.
Yeah, it's good, you know. So, like, obviously the first month was a bit tough. My daughter was a bit upset, you know, but she's pushed through it now, and she's like a translator now. So she's helping me and the wife out, you know.
That's good.
They're enjoying it. Like, it's like anywhere, you know. My 2 boys are playing rugby over there. Well, they call it flag, obviously.
Yeah.
So my daughter's doing a bit of jiu-jitsu as well. So they're enjoying it. They're keeping themselves busy. My wife's just, you know, going to cafes and spending money and, you know, going to Shibuya and everything.
Luckily, you got plenty of yen going.
No, I don't know, mate. The yen's low at the moment.
We'll go back to when that money first came in.
Which one?
The
real deal.
NRL money. The NRL money.
Oh yeah.
We skipped your debut. How was when you found out? Like you said, it was out of the blue. Which cup team were you playing for?
I was playing for Mackay Cutters, and we ended up winning that year. But we had a weapon of a team. Like, we had like Jason Taumalolo, Michael Morgan.
He's a grand finalist. Grand final winner. Yeah,
that's it. Grand final winners. We had like Anthony Mitchell. We had a few like just some country boys that just tough, you know, like tough rugby league players. And that was a good year. We won it that year. And I didn't play first grade, but then I had ambitions, obviously, to try my best.
Crack it.
And we had a new coach come in, and it was the late Paul Green came in. And he was like, you know, just keep working hard, and, you know, the opportunity to come. And I played Queensland Residents actually under him that year. So I didn't play first grade, but we played Queensland Residents, and we played against New South Wales down in Sydney, and we lost, unfortunately, that game. But he was my coach for that, and then he was my head coach for the Cowboys. And then
he gave you your debut.
He gave me the debut.
Green, wow.
How was it when you found out? What was it?
Yeah, I was just it was pretty unexpected, because I got injured like before round 1, so I played the next year. We played the Nines, so I still hadn't debut.
Got a double grand final to win.
You know, there we go.
See, do my homework, mate.
He did.
He knew you before you even knew it.
Yeah, I know. Stalking there.
Chainsaw.
So basically, so my first year didn't play, but played Residents. Then second year, played the Nines, and we won it that year. It was the inaugural
first one
in Auckland, and we won that. That was pretty buzzy. And then
Kalen Ponga was in your team. No,
he wasn't. He was still playing on the 20s.
Yeah, 20s.
But we had, I have to get the team list. We had like Tarek Sims, a few just like athlete players, and what happened was, like, I broke my thumb in the final, so I had to get like surgery on it. And I missed like
good chunk of the season.
Good chunk of the season. So it was like the first 4 or 5 rounds I missed.
Yeah.
And then I came back and played cup again, and then I was hopeful of potentially playing first grade the next week, because he kept talking to me, because he actually liked what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I tore my quad, so I was like, I broke my thumb, I tore my quad, and I was like, when is this going to happen? Like, when's my debut going to happen, you know? Let's take an absolute piss, you know what I mean? So I just wasn't getting a good run. Yeah. And then Anthony Winterstein. Yeah,
Oh,
Winterstein.
Winterstein.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a Bronx boy, too. So
Yeah,
he's,
yeah. No, I
he's
played.
down here.
Tippy
I played
toe running.
schools with him,
Tippy toe running.
Yeah, he had those. Yeah,
Tippy toe running. That's him.
that's him. So yeah, exactly. I know. Showing my age, eh?
Jesus.
He got injured and like during the week,
Yeah.
and I wasn't fully fit yet, but I just put my hand up anyway. I was like, you should watch
I've
that.
got half a quad, half a thumb.
You should watch it. You should watch the game. There's like someone makes a break and I can't sprint and I'm running and I look like a shot donkey like chasing him. But I was just adamant. I was just like, I can play. So it was like a 2.5 month injury, and I came back in like 5 weeks because I was like, you should see, like, watch the game. I know you probably watch it. I've got this bloody.
Strapping.
Yeah, this massive padding on my leg like this just to like keep it together.
Quad together.
Yeah, keep my quad together. And I was just like,
It's telling stories back. It sounds like the physios didn't have much of a say.
Yeah.
No,
I just picture him during training sessions, like they're doing high balls or something. That's when he's not the running part, just all that stuff, just up in the air. Trying
Yeah.
to,
Oh,
so
man.
coach, make sure coach is watching all that stuff.
oh yeah, the old under the high balls, making sure, keeping the tuck.
Brace.
But so that eventually came, and we played down in Gosford. We lost against Manly, but I scored a try, and I was just like
On
happy.
debut.
On debut, and
Yeah.
I got to play with like Jonathan Thurston, one of the greats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
JT.
And then I had Matty Bowen as well.
Matty Bowen.
So like
Vintage.
Yeah.
that's pretty
Golden years.
pretty good
Here's a
combination.
question. JT, do you reckon he would have gone well in rugby union? Jonathan Thurston. I reckon he would.
I think so. I just think he's just like one of those naturally gifted footy players, just that black fella footy, in him, he can just read the game really well.
Yeah. Get a good feel for the game.
Good feel for the game. Obviously, I reckon Cleary would just walk into it and he'd be natural himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like back to what you were saying as well about the like hard transitioning into it. Like league is just like basically like you just got to be kind of tough and you learn it as you go. Where like
Learn the hard way.
You learn the hard way, and like they try to break you, man, in preseason.
That's why I switched.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they try to break in preseason, and if you can hold it together, through that tough period in the preseason,
you're half a chance.
Yeah, you're half a chance. You know what I mean? And that's probably half the battle is getting through the preseason. Is like if you ask any NRL player like what they do in there, it's just out the gate. Like
they definitely earn their beers.
And they do love them as well. They do love those beers.
They earn their beers. They earn their headlines.
Speaking of that, when you switched back to union, what was that process? Who approached you? Who approached you or did you approach them?
No, so I was playing at the Dogs, and I was pretty happy there. I had another year running on my contract, and they had salary cap problems at the time.
Yeah.
It's you.
No, it wasn't me. It was a few other people, and
collectively we made it a problem.
Yeah. It was a big problem in the club, and we had. We had Raylene Castle, who was like, so I don't know if you want to talk about that. With the Rugby Australia, Raylene Castle, stars aligned. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just like, I was playing
Raylene Castle, Jesus.
Yeah, just going under, so basically I was playing well, enjoying it, and then like I had opportunity to come across, and that was through my agent.
Yeah.
And he said, Michael Checker's quite interested, and he loves his league.
It came from the top.
Yeah, it came from the top, and
he does love his league.
He does love his league, and obviously doing two teams at once and two different codes is pretty impressive.
Two different countries.
Yeah, and two different countries, you know what I mean?
Two different languages.
Oh, geez.
He probably would have done his research too and known that you got a union background.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's pretty
probably,
cool. So he obviously came from Czech, and he wanted, obviously, one of the Super Rugby franchises to pick you up.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It was like, I was going to go back to Perth, and I grew up there majority of my life, and, I still had my family. Well, they obviously moved over to Townsville, and then they're still there now.
Oh, you left it there?
I left them there. I was like, see ya. And then I went down to Sydney. And, I was like, he's coming. They're like, nah, we love it up here.
They love it up there, do they?
They love it up there, bro. So then,
Townsville.
Obviously went to had a talk with Western Force, and obviously like there was like Hodjo, there was like the captain there, and we had like Pekahos, like he's one of the GOs, you know what I mean? OGs, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know, talking to them, and
who was coach there? John Mitchell?
No, they had oh my goodness,
I'm trying to think.
I've had too many coaches.
Or too many head knocks.
Nah, Dave Wessels. Come on, Dave Wessels. So he went to Rebels as well. But so he was the coach at the time, and he was pretty happy like to try and lure me over as well. And obviously I spoke to Czech, and you know there was a potential opportunity for me to play well for the Wallabies if I earned my spot.
Yeah.
And there's still players doing that now, you know, like Suwali is coming across, and Vinovalu come across. So like everyone's doing it, and I think it was just like opportunity for me to go back to rugby as well, you know, where I started, you know, where I wanted to start my rugby journey again.
Yeah.
And that was that was the opportunity that came across, and then before you know it, I was there for 1 year, and then the Force guy got the hook.
You didn't want to play rapid rugby.
Rapid rugby.
What's the Force coming to Malaysia? Like, what?
Rapid rugby, that was funny.
What happened to it? It's just like...
the Force got back to Super, though, so then I was like, don't need to waste the money.
Don't need you anymore. They didn't offload any money.
Yeah, mate.
Maybe
I'll come on, mate. Allegedly.
Well, I think, well, he's got a bit of money, doesn't he? So,
mate,
come on, just
and he's doing his part. He's doing his part for WA.
Yeah, he's...
And for rugby.
He is.
And good man. Keep it up, Twiggy. Love your work.
Yeah. And then you went to...
Sydney.
Tars.
Yeah, to Tars.
Was there any other offers to go overseas then from Force? Or you wanted to stay?
I wanted to, because it was my first year in rugby, and I just... Then I was
have
like...
a proper crack.
I want to have a proper crack, and I went to the Tars, and for the 2 years I was there, I was enjoying it. You know...
Started going into 13 from wing?
Yeah, so I went from wing, and like I always knew, because I always played 13, 15 when I was...
at school.
When I was younger, so I knew that position more.
Yeah.
But because I played league, they're like, just chuck him on the wing, you know what I mean? Like, he's, you just chuck him on the wing. But, like, I thought I had a little bit more to it for me. And, I came across, and Daryl Gibson was the coach at the time. And, mate, the back line we had was just, like, it was pretty stacked. Like, I'll be honest with you. We had, like, first phase tries were the most in the comp. Like, just...
Is he era?
Yeah, so we had Fanger, Foley, KB, me, Izzy, Tangeli.
Tangeli was
just like leaving bodies behind him.
He's still leaving bodies behind. Shit on it.
Yes, bro. I know. And then
that is actually an elite backline.
And we had like Newsom, who's now carving up over in France. So we had Newsom and Clarkey as well. Clement. Yeah, but we had a good backline, and we were like...
Enjoyed your footy?
I enjoyed my footy there, and it was just like low key. It wasn't like too stressful, because like everyone just trusted each other, and everyone had their role to play.
Yeah.
And then we had Sweep come back as well, so that added just like a lot of beers. Holiday beers.
Holiday Sweep.
Yeah, Sweepy. So he came back, and he just brought that more experience that we needed.
Yeah.
So it was good. I had some great times there, and then I wasn't getting selected in the Wallabies at the time, and I thought, you know what, like maybe I'm not going to get crack, you know. And
was Czech still the coach?
He was still the coach, yeah. So he obviously, you know, didn't fancy me, you know, at that point.
Yeah.
And then I decided to go to London with Kissy.
Let's kiss.
Aha.
Yeah.
Is that why you're back? Are you trying to tell us something?
Well, I caught up.
Exclusive.
You heard it here first.
Exclusive.
Yeah, no, I did. I had a good talk to him, and he's a great man. And if you ask any of the Reds boys currently now, he's got like a great plan, like installed for the Reds and Queensland rugby
not just
altogether.
For now, but to
yeah.
Oh,
like he's doing well now. Like I went to the Force game on the weekend, and they put 60 points on him. Like that doesn't just happen overnight. Like it's obviously they're buying into the culture that he's creating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just working for them, you know.
Yeah.
So he did the exact same thing I signed the contract to go over to London Irish. Went over there, and like they come from second division to first division.
Okay.
And then we stayed up, and then so we finished like first season. Out of the 13 teams, we finished.
So you went there the first year though, back in the Prem.
Yeah, back in the Prem. We had like plying and
yeah.
So we had plying. We had like a few other older players. We had Sukopi Kepu come in as well.
Keps, tease.
Yeah, I know. We had Keps.
Keps retiring this year, is he?
Yep, that's it. Who else we had? Nick Phibbs as well. He came over across. Simone came across as well. Simmons. So obviously Liz Tess was like,
the Aussie flavor.
He was like, oh, "Come on, guys, let's go over here and
go over and run amok."
Yeah, do our best. But first year out of 13 teams we come like 11th, and then and then the second year was like 8th, and then the third year was like 7th, and then the last year, just as I left, they come 5th, so they nearly made the final.
So they were making
4. So they're making huge progress
in the space of 3 years.
Yeah, 3-4 years. So he was doing the right thing, and then unfortunately, with the English rugby climate, 3 teams gone under within 6 months, and that really hurt a lot of the boys, because they didn't have any deals at the time, so they literally.
So you were out before that happened.
Yeah, I just.
You seem like you've had a bit of previous experience. Seems to be there's a common denominator everywhere you've gone.
Yeah, I've just left the place in fucking shambles, absolute shambles. No,
but good on you. You had heads up footy.
I had heads up footy there. I don't know how, but I just got out and I was quite lucky. Glenn Delaney, who's my coach now at Mitsubishi, he reached out and he was like,
"Need an outside back."
Yeah, I need an outside back. We're coming up as well. So Mitsubishi currently, this is my second year, but the first year they were coming up from second division to first, and then we played relegation last year
to get into top league
to stay. We played against Toyota Shockey, and then we stayed up, and then this year is like the first year since the rugby programs, for 40 years that we didn't play relegation. Yeah. And then last year was the first time we didn't go straight down. Usually we go up and then come down. Yeah. So we're slowly making progress there as well.
Rugby in Japan seems crazy over there. They love it.
They do. They absolutely do. I think after the World Cup, you just see the potential.
That was a great World Cup.
But to go back to London, were you living in the city or? Because it's a massive city. Yeah,
it's a massive city, and there's a lot of things to do there. Yeah. I was living about 25 minutes from a train ride into Waterloo, which is central, and then I basically lived about 15 minutes from training, so I was pretty close to everything that I need to have. But it was good, mate. Like some tough footy over there, eh? It's just hard yakka.
I can imagine a wet winter game. You just stand there cold as an outside back and you watch the forwards just go at it for 80 minutes.
I kid you not.
Hold on, boys, got to chase this kick.
Mate. I've got to make a tackle now after I can't feel my fingers, you know what I mean?
I remember league when we were younger, juniors playing like Friday nights, you're like, fuck, this is... But then you warm up for the whole game. But in union,
you get like cold.
You stay... It's so slow. Like unions, and then you're like, if you're not a forward, you're back, you're getting... No wonder they're playing
gloves and long
stuff. I'm like... Oh, mate,
I did play a little.
It looks like it does snow in Japan as well when you play some footy.
Yeah, no, it's cold, but it's a different cold, you know what I mean? So, like, it's like a dry winter. Yeah. So, like, the sun's out, but it's like cold, 2 degrees. Yeah. But in London, in London and England, UK, I'm not lying here. I walked out one day and it was just like, it was pissing sideways and it was like razor blades were hitting my face. And I had like this gloves on, had a fucking beanie on, and I had, one of those ski masks, the ski face masks, and I was like, fuck, what am I fucking doing here? You know what I mean? So, and I think every Aussie has that experience once in their footy career over there. Their time over there. So
you've been pretty lucky though. I kind of observe rugby league guys that's gone over to Union, right? obviously in the current Australian climate, you can't get the money you're getting in league. But you look at someone like Semi Wadradra, who's do you play at Parramatta River or do you go to south of France?
There's so many.
Where's he gone?
I even look at Makasiva. He's like going up and down from Cup 2.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that was like hot when he was like if he went over to Union, he'd still be up there because it's just got that.
Not just up there, he'd be travelling the south of France. He'll be playing 2 games in France, holidaying 2 weeks in Spain.
Yeah. I won't be surprised though, to be honest, if he gets picked up by like a French rugby club.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised at all, you know.
So from your experience, like because obviously that's like Union's selling point in terms of experience going out, like what you've experienced from going to rugby union, travelling.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you lived in London, you probably went summer in Spain or Greece.
Yeah.
What's that whole experience like? If you're playing rugby league, you obviously can't do that in Townsville. But
you can go to the Mancar, mate. You haven't been there before. It's a hell of a time, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, what's that experience outside of rugby you get from playing rugby union versus if you were just playing rugby league the rest of your career? Do you look back and go, I'm glad I did this union bit, went back to union, I can get to experience all this, get to take my wife, my kids, do that together? Yeah,
no, that's I think that's a big draw card, you know.
Yeah.
Having an opportunity to travel the world, you know, and live in different countries and live different cities, you know. So like
your kids will be bilingual by the time they're 18.
I hope so. Jeez. Yeah, I hope so. They're going to be my,
Have they got an English accent or Aussie?
My daughter and my son had a little one for a good time being. So I haven't been back in Australia for 4 years, and my little one we brought back. He's like, what is going on here? You know,
Wagwan fam.
Yeah, he's like, in it, you know. Collect the bag. You know what I mean? So far out. Oh man! So when I heard my daughter speaking, and like, you know, when you record them and then you like
play it back
like 6 months later, I was like,
what
the heck is going on here? Like, is there auto tune or something going on here? But you don't hear it until like later on down the track when you're like looking at past videos. But yeah, it's a cool experience, you know, like given to travel the world, and you know, it's probably like it's something that you can't do in league unless you go to the Super League. But mate, you're playing. I don't know how much they're playing for, and you know, and how many games they're playing. But I think coming to rugby, it was like, you know, you're guaranteed to kind of travel the world, like even if it's not even professional. You know, so like,
you still get the chance in the lower leagues and whatnot. Yeah,
well, that's what I mean. So like, there's like the champ that you can play second division, and they'll hook you up with accommodation, a job. You know what I mean? So if you want to do like a gap year, I know like a lot of boys from the UK going to New Zealand to do a gap year, just to work, travel, and just play a bit of local footy. Like, and that's something league doesn't really offer. But you can see that they're trying to with the French league over in second division, like Toulouse. Toulouse, and there's another one that I think Kevin Proctor's playing for now.
Is that Catalan? No, they're in the top. They're in the top, aren't they?
No, I think it's like what's it called? It's called like. Albi or something like that is another second division team, but just rugby just gives you more variety and like to go.
They're rugby mad over there.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of experience money can't buy, I should say.
Just like I've been to probably
places that you never thought of.
Didn't even know existed. You know,
that's probably one thing that I think Union should be doing. League's always after our best players, where we should. I reckon there's so many guys that are playing cup that are probably more suited to Union, that our scouts should be looking at these guys.
Poaching.
Because there's so many tons of players playing league that are trying, that probably won't make it to the NRL because there's just so much competition that I reckon we should be trying to get them over and sell that life.
Yeah, 100%. I think the boys, I guess, like, because they live and breathe like rugby league,
very hard.
They get in Queensland and New South Wales, like it's hard to kind of convince them to be like, this is opportunity, in front of you. But they're just like, nah, I want to play a league, like my mates are doing it and this and that, and everyone's talking about it, and it's the hype that really draw cards everybody to rugby league. Like it's a real marketable product. And that's something that rugby needs to do, and like maybe it's a bit more market itself more better.
accessible for people to go watch.
Yeah.
Not on stand.
Yeah, well, because that's what I mean. Like, you get your Friday night footies on Channel 9.
Every
You
single
know?
pub.
Every single pub, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the things that rugby need to, like, give and take and look at, you know? But, yeah, it was a good change for me. You know, sometimes I think, should I just stayed and should I just played league and, you know, come a little bit later on? But, yeah, like it was my 32nd birthday the other day.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, 28, isn't it?
26 was it?
28. So yeah. So like obviously, when you get to league and you're a 32, like your body's pretty much broken or breaking down.
Yeah.
But yeah, like obviously I've just come back to get surgery here just up the road in Wesley Hospital, and
All went well?
it all went well. And now just
How long's recovery?
well, it's a meniscus repair, so it's probably like 4 months, give or take.
Yeah. And heading back to Japan tomorrow?
Yeah, early flight tomorrow morning with the family and back into it.
Which we appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate you guys asking the questions and like coming here on short notice. It's a real privilege to be a part of this. You guys are doing an amazing job, I guess.
We're trying our best.
You're trying your best. So yeah, if anyone wants to throw any more sponsorships, you know, feel free to hit us up on
Pig Athletic.
or DMs, slide in the DMs.
You never know. We might have a Japanese one after this on.
Yeah, never know. Maybe you guys come over.
Mate, I'm going back to Asia, so mate.
The what's it called? The top league grand final. Thoughts?
Oh, you know what? It was a crazy one because Wild Knights hadn't lost a game all year.
Yeah.
Right. So they're the hot favourites.
Right.
And then
Lupus.
The last like 20 minutes or so.
it was neck and neck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it's obviously good to have different people win it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's
the first time they've won, right?
That's the first time they've won it. So, like, usually Panasonic will win like 2 years, 3 years in a row. But I think it goes something like Panasonic, Suntory, Kubota, who won it? Toshiba this year. So, like, it's good for the game that everybody's winning. And I think that's, like, with the Super Rugby, Crusaders have won it like 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
So you're just
I didn't even notice until like, oh shit, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is the first time they're actually like struggling a bit. But I think
it's
when
good
you
to
have
share the load.
it's good to share the load because then you get new fans.
You get new engagement from other regions and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with the league, like they're so tight. Like the competition is so tight. You don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your tippings will be out the window after Thursday night.
Yeah.
Seen people throw TVs out of their tippings. I'm saying
The rugby over there is actually really entertaining as well. Like watching the Japanese League One. It used to be on stand. Just thank God that Rugby's put it on Rugby Pass TV now for free. So, mate, it's only just growing. I'll be back in Asia, so probably even going to grow over more when we change pack into just Japanese rugby content page.
Yes. Come over, man. It's an awesome place. It's a good league. I think they had the most attendances this year ever.
Yeah.
They're trying to grow the game in Japan from the World Cup, like I said before, and like it's a good experience for foreigners to come over to watch and see what style of rugby that they play and how foreigners adapt to them, because like sometimes you can get a bit lost in translation, you know, because you're out there and there's a Japanese dude and you're like trying to speak to him. He's looking at you, giving you a blank face, and you're just like, okay, then you know what I mean. You know,
how are you, the local teammates, your teammates?
Yeah, all those funny characters there. Yeah, so on the beers, mate, they're just like if any foreigners,
so funny,
oh mate,
my good old schoolmate Fisi Puna probably.
Puna, man, he's
the fresh Tongans at zero English, perfect Japanese, perfect Tongan. Love them.
There's that little program that they got getting all the islanders. It's smart.
Yeah,
it's smart.
It's good.
Put them through uni. They graduate.
Otherwise, the boys will be just back in Tonga.
Do nothing.
Climbing up coconut trees and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Japan has seen an opening there, from a market point of view to getting players across from the islands.
But they do it in a very smart way.
Yeah.
So they don't just go, I'll give you cash, come over and play for a club.
Yeah.
So they go to this kid and go, I'm going to give you a degree.
Education.
Yep.
You get to come over, you play rugby for the uni, you don't get paid.
You get a Japanese wife, or that's just by the choice. That's up to the player. That's up to the player.
There's a lot of them.
So you go in
Get
there.
the passport, mate.
You get a degree. Then they're most likely affiliated with a professional club. So they definitely go into a professional environment. But if they don't, they go straight into full-time work with a degree they've got from a university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's a win-win, really.
it's a win-win for them.
You know what I mean?
Mate, all those half-caste Japanese kids are going to be dangerous in a few
Oh,
years.
yes.
Oh,
There's a few of
Quade
them
said
now.
it on the Coco show last night. Like, just think about, because I think they do it in Fiji, Samoa, and Tonga. Like all those kids from high school into university system, like
Yes.
high school and then
Yeah.
university system.
Yeah.
So, 20 years from now, the Japanese
watch.
team, mate, some
These-
good-looking half-caste.
The good horse.
Yeah,
The good horse.
Yeah,
The good
definitely.
horse teams, mate.
No, it's
They're
definitely...
good breed. No, it'll be very interesting to see in a couple of years' time, just with the
yeah.
because you can definitely see it now. For example, second, third generation Islanders who's, for example, living in the UK, someone that their dads went over and played, but there's now the grandson who's been born.
Vunipolos.
Yeah. And then
Football actually went to spawn and went to school in Tonga.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's probably why their Tongan's good.
Yeah.
And he brings it out. That's another,
Yeah, that's the way. But it'll be the same in the UK, same in Japan. There's heaps of Tongans, Fijians, Samoans over there. So
Yeah.
be interesting in the next 15 years.
Anyways, before we get to these last quick fire. Well,
Sorry, we've
quick fire each
really enjoyed our
questions.
chat. That's
Yeah,
No,
mate,
it's
it's
been
actually
good.
interesting. But before we get into these, life after rugby. What are you? Just in case we got some, some suits watching. What are you trying to? What are you looking to get into?
So, obviously, rugby's been a big part of my my life.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to my wife about it, discussing it. I've thought about coaching as well. But going from grassroots, so going through the 18s and 20s, but eventually I want to move up the ranks.
career coach.
Yeah. And I think doing it in Japan could be an opportunity as well. They really want to learn the game. They really want to learn rugby, and they're really good at doing what you tell them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very good learners. Yeah.
So that's an avenue I've definitely thought about it, and but then I've also thought about doing something pretty different, going back and opening up a farm and stuff like that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I've been watching too much Yellowstone, I think, in my spare time. But just talking about that, and then also just because my wife supported me for
So
however long,
Yeah.
forever,
forever,
mate.
Forever,
Get
exactly.
it right. That's the right.
Forever.
Forever. Look down the barrel and say forever.
forever. Where am I looking? Forever. Yeah. So, I whatever she wants to do, I'm going
That's
to
it,
work around it.
That's right.
So that's something a lot of people don't really think about. She wants to have her career now. You've had yours.
Yeah.
Now trying to support her as well.
That's
so
very nice. Yeah.
yeah, I've got to get the balance right, obviously. But yeah, if anyone wants to give me a job as well, just feel free. Just
I
slide in
reckon
the DMs,
there is someone that wants
modelling,
to give you a job.
whatever.
Let's go.
Let's kiss. Hey, let's kiss. You know what I mean? Let's kiss. Nah, you never know, mate. You never know.
you never know.
So it could be in the Mitsubishi factory before the.
Could be building tanks, mate. Could be building tanks and turbos, because that could be the next option. But yeah,
All right, let's get into some of these questions. Do you have any as well?
No, you go. I've left it to you, mate.
All right. Firstly, who is a rugby league player you think that would have been one of the greats in rugby union? Any league player you think
league player.
would have been one of the...
Well, I did mention Nathan Cleary, or
Yep.
probably Cam Munster would be good too.
Oh, Kemi Munster.
Yeah, he's
Kemi
just-
Money.
He just plays
Money
footy.
Munster,
He's just money man. So I reckon Munster would be pretty good too.
Yep.
Probably Turbo as well. I don't know how his kicking game is, his long kicking game, but something at fullback, someone just a bit of open space.
Yeah.
Play him at 13 doesn't have to kick.
Yeah, probably actually. Yeah, so I would say those are my three. off the top
Turbo
of my head.
Cleary.
That's some good
Money
ones.
Munster.
Yeah, Munster.
All right. Who favourite moment... Oh, what's your favourite moment in your career?
Rugby or league?
Both.
Oh,
Both.
Yeah, league or union. Sorry.
Well, we'll go one
One from
each.
Probably. Oh, it's a tough one there. League, I'd probably say. Probably the winning the nines. It was just like
first ever one.
Yeah, first time winning.
Scored a double.
Anything quite major. Yeah. And then Union, obviously, probably playing for the Wallabies. Playing against the All Blacks. At ANZ, in front of 60,000, 70,000. That's pretty proud moment, I think, for me and having my family there and all wearing Wallaby jerseys. You know what I mean? So, it was pretty amazing to experience that.
This is not in the rapid fire questions, but how was it facing the haka? Your background's also in New Zealand. How was it facing the haka? Did you?
Yeah, it was it's a different experience, Like,
are you doing it in your head?
Just collecting all the mana.
Yeah, just collecting it. It was a special moment, because I'm a proud Māori person, and that's my culture and heritage, But I'm also grateful that Australia's given me an opportunity, to better myself in life and enjoy what I have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a real special moment for me, and you can feel that, that, like you said, that mana that's coming out, and it was amazing.
What else? Who is your favourite teammate of all time?
Like NBA team or teammate. Who's my favourite teammate?
All your teammates from Union and League. Who was your favourite?
I got on pretty close to Sikopi Kepué. Like he was like a big uncle, for me, at the time.
And for a lot of players, it sounds,
Yeah, Sikopi Kepu was definitely one of those guys that I looked up to. He had 4 children, and he always, whatever happened at training, result of the game.
Yeah.
He would still be happy and with his family, and he would separate that.
Yeah.
So you lose a game and your emotions are really high, and that he really taught me to when you go back to your family, just like
your family time.
Just your family time, So
Don't
you got your rugby,
home.
don't work. Yeah, and that's like in anything, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I learnt really well off him.
Yeah.
To see him do that. But yeah, I'm pretty tight with the Sikopi.
I won't put you on the spot, but I was going to ask your worst teammate. The fact that you didn't name me your favourite teammate, then I suppose I'm reserved to be the worst.
Oh no, everyone's been good teammates.
Who's the worst? Who's the worst teammate? Like,
what in terms of
whatever?
You can say who's the pest?
Who comes to mind?
That's the most annoying teammate.
No. Teammates. I don't have a bad teammate.
Very diplomatic.
Safe.
Yeah,
very diplomatic. Maybe he might be a politician.
Maybe
one day.
Maybe.
Favorite coach?
Yeah, you've had a lot.
Oh, geez, yeah, I have. That's a good question, I did like Des, actually. I did like him. He was pretty tough, pretty hard, but he was also fair.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you one story off the.
Off the record,
in the bad section. So basically, we played the game, and I hurt my ankle, and it was swollen up. And that night, I went out and I got on the beers. I think I was at Parramatta Hotel or something like that, just drinking with the boys and drinking, and then woke up the next day and I got this phone call from Desi, and he was like, mate, what did you do last night? And I was like, oh, no, I just went out for dinner, just went home and, just chilled,
Yeah.
And he was like, are you sure, mate? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah. Like, I just chilled. And he goes, oh, okay, yeah, sweet, no worries. And I'll see you on Monday then at training. And I was like, okay, sweet. Went to training and I was 50-50 for the game, to play.
Yeah.
And he calls me in and he goes, so, mate, what'd you do on the weekend? Asking again.
Yeah.
So it was loaded. He knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I go in there and I was like, he goes, oh, your ankle looks pretty bad. And I was like, oh, yeah, I had a few beers. And he was like, oh, so you went out? Yeah, because I know you went out, mate. And I was like, mate, he's got eyes everywhere,
Yeah.
So I think he knew the Seki, or the Seki was like, oh, your boys are in.
Ah, true.
And he was like, okay, who's this? Because, you know, coaches these days, or back then even, they want to know where their players and what they're doing, you know. And, you know, you can easily get into trouble real quick. And, he goes, oh, yeah, mate, yeah, I know you went out last night, didn't you? You had a few beers, eh? And I was like, oh, shit. And he was like, mate, if you don't play, you could tell all your teammates why you didn't play. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, fuck, I gotta play.
Yeah.
And then I ended up playing, so he was just like, you're lucky. And he was just like, that was it, and then just left it like that. But he's really good like that, you know what I mean? So he's
pull your head in.
Yeah, he's like, pull your head in. Don't be a rugby league, you know? Don't go rugby league. And so that's one off the record that you asked for today.
Nice. I like it.
And lastly, other than your family, was there anyone else to credit for your helping you along the way?
Yeah, I'll just think his name's Danny Green, the one that gave me that first opportunity. He was the one that said, mate, if you want to take this serious.
And he had you at that WA
Reds, you know. I was one of the better players, obviously, but he said he wasn't going to pick me because my head wasn't there. And that's what, like, I think like a good coach should do. Like, you know, you've got a choice and an option to make.
Yeah.
And in that instant, I made the decision, was like, I'm just going to do it, go hard for the next month, and then hopefully he picks me, you know. And if he didn't pick me, I'd be on the scaffolding somewhere in bloody Perth like the rest of the Maldies over there. So,
you said it, I did.
Yeah. I said it. You're thinking it.
I did say it.
You're just thinking it, you know. But yeah.
If Freddie was here, he would have said it before you even put the story out.
I'm surprised he's not here. He's a busy man, busy man.
No, purposely told him he's not allowed to come this one. We need more guests to come on.
He would have done the huck of when you walked in.
Oh, jeez. I love that though. No, it's good. I think that was a big turning point in my career and
kick-started it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Need more Danny Greens in the world.
Danny Green.
Danny Green also punches head for it.
He's also a boxer.
Exactly.
And lastly, what's some advice that you would give to your younger self?
Stay in it. No, I don't know. Just being, just being more patient. Yeah, I guess being more patient and not rushing into things and making decisions just because like you feel like you have to make a decision right now. You got time. You got time. Yeah, you have time. You got a lot more time than you think. But I just think just being more patient, just with whatever you're making decision, and if you want to go do this in life, or if you want to play footy here, it doesn't necessarily have to be footy, but like starting like a career and stuff like that. Just take your time and to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, nice. Well,
touching.
I like it.
That was touching. The last bit, wasn't it?
No, that was good. Anything else, Dave?
No. Well, thank you, Curtis, for coming tonight in such short notice.
Yeah,
good luck with the recovery. Safe travels back to Japan with the family tomorrow morning. And we wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you back out in the field.
Thank you. Thanks,
come visit.
Thanks for that. Yeah, come see me in Japan, guys.
We've got a headquarters in Japan, man. Arigato, man.
That's it. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with Ryan Freeney and do all the good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.